French-Canadian pop diva Celine Dion reigned over the music charts in the 1990s with her powerful vocals. Considered the best-selling Canadian recording artist of all time, she has sold over 200 million records worldwide throughout her career. Born Celine Marie Claudette Dion on the 30th of March 1968, she grew up in a large family with little money. Her childhood was a happy one, and music became a part of her life very early on. At the age of 5, she was performing in her parents' piano bar, and by the time she was 12, she was creating demo tapes from the songs her mother had written. The tape was sent by her brother to music manager René Angelil, who was immediately won over by her voice and signed her. His belief in her was so great that he even mortgaged his home to fund her first album and requested complete control over her career. From here, her music life became full on, recording an incredible 9 French albums before she was 18. Her first album, La Voix du Bon Dieu, was an instant #1 in Quebec, before spreading further across the world, winning multiple awards along the way. Dion spent some time learning English, enabling her to record her first English album to reach audiences in America. She released Unison in 1990, becoming established as adult contemporary music, with lead single Where Does My Heart Beat Now, selling 1 million copies. As a lyric soprano, Dion is an exceptionally skilled technical singer with a vocal range of 3 octaves. She can effortlessly hold longer notes while never wavering the pitch. Her voice alters depending on which register she sings in. Her lower tone is darker, while her mid-range is much warmer, often opting for a softer delivery. And when she uses her belting range, she does so naturally, and even has the ability to reach a 6th octave, impressively combining her belting and head voice together. The single that really launched Dion's career was a duet she recorded with Peabo Bryson in 1992. She recorded the theme song for Beauty and the Beast, which made its way to #9 on the Billboard Hot 100. This earned Dion 2 awards, an Academy Award for Best Song, and her first Grammy for Best Pop Performance by a duo or group with vocal. Beauty and the Beast became the lead single from her second English album, Celine Dion, and followed a similar style to her previous release, exploring rock and pop genres and including elements of classical and soul. This was the album that made her a pop sensation, selling over 12 million copies and claiming her first gold record in the US. Dion's cover of If You Ask Me To by Patti LaBelle became her first #1 single in Canada, while it climbed its way up to #4 in the Billboard Hot 100. The success of the song was the catalyst behind her debut headline tour in the US. However, her French-Canadian fans suggested she had left them behind for America, and she would later show her loyalty to them by refusing to accept an award for English Artist of the Year, stating that she would like to pay homage to her root and always be known as a French artist and not English. It was during this time that she also began a secret romantic relationship with her manager, who was 26 years her senior. To make the most of her newfound stardom, she immediately began working on her next release, The Color of My Love, in 1993. This was a song that acknowledged her relationship with Angelil, featuring alongside numerous other love ballads that she was now recognized for. Her single, The Power of Love, would skyrocket straight to the top of the charts, sitting at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. She continued releasing music, switching between French and English albums as she did so. In the same year, she was awarded the World Music Award for Best-Selling Female Recording Artist of the Year. And in doing so, she cemented her status as one of the best-selling artists in the world. The height of her popularity was reflected through her 4th English album, Falling Into You, which was released in 1996. This time she expanded on her style and incorporated several new sounds such as African chanting and orchestral elements, while introducing new instruments such as the Spanish guitar or a saxophone. The single, Because You Loved Me, once again shot to #1, while the album itself took home 2 Grammys, one for Best Pop Album and the other for Album of the Year. Her popularity in America only continued to progress as she performed at the Olympic Games in Atlanta in 1996, before embarking on the Falling Into You tour. This album marks the pinnacle of her career, becoming her biggest critical and commercial success. Her achievements did not stop there, however. In 1997, the iconic film Titanic was released, and Dion would be the artist to sing on the theme song, My Heart Will Go On. Both the song and the film were an overwhelming success, with the film winning 11 Oscars, including My Heart Will Go On, which would soon become Dion's signature song. A year later, she would be recognized further for her contribution to the music industry and was given her Canada's highest honor, the National Order of Quebec. During this year, she also featured on VH1's Divas Live, a highly televised concert that featured other established artists such as Mariah Carey, Shania Twain, Aretha Franklin, and Gloria Estefan. Soaring across the charts, she saw out the decade with another 3 albums that garnered equal success, alongside an intense 14-country tour around the world. As the new millennia began, Dion took a step back from the spotlight to focus on having and raising a family. Only 2 years later, however, she was back with new music and an exceptional 3-year residency at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. As if that wasn't enough, she also released multiple albums, both in English and in French, even collaborating on a project for children's music. Although she no longer ruled the pop charts, her legendary status still held her popularity, and in 2011 she returned to Caesars Palace for another residency. She had to postpone the show in 2015 when Angelil began struggling against a battle with cancer, while Dion herself suffered from inflammation in her throat muscles. Unfortunately, Angelil lost his fight against cancer in 2016, and Dion took a break to grieve her loss. Bravely, she slowly ended her hiatus and returned to her Las Vegas residency a year later, where she performed until 2019. That same year, she announced a new album titled Courage, where she had planned a tour for 2020, but has now been postponed. The likes of Aretha Franklin, Carole King, the Bee Gees, and Barbra Streisand have all inspired Celine Dion, but described as the queen of power ballads herself, with heartfelt music and soaring vocals, Dion is now the one to inspire others. You can check out the Carly of Spotify to listen to the original tracks of the artist. It's a curated playlist with the most popular songs.